Let me tell you something. The waiting room at Bright Smiles Dental was as calm as a church on a Wednesday morning. Until Patricia Hawthorne exploded through those glass doors like she owned the place, rocking head-to-toe designer athleisure, and that look on her face. You know the one. Like the world owed her a personal apology. She didn't even pause to breathe. Phone in one hand, crumpled appointment card in the other, just barked out, "I need to see Dr. Peton right now," as if she'd never heard the word no in her entire life. I was sitting in the corner clutching an ice pack to my swollen jaw, thinking, here we go again, because Patricia Hawthorne has a reputation that follows her around like a bad smell in an elevator. Ashley, the receptionist, looked up from her screen, cool as ice. She must have been trained for exactly this scenario, her fingers still hovering over the keyboard as Patricia started in with, "I had the 10:30 slot today, and I demand you honor it." I watched that familiar storm roll in, because Patricia never goes down without a fight. You know what I mean? Ashley checked the system and said, "Ma'am, it looks like you canceled that appointment at 11:47 last night on the automated line." And just like that, the temperature in the whole room dropped 10 degrees. Patricia shrieked. That was a mistake. My son was playing with my phone. This is medical negligence. And I just sat there, half numb with pain, wishing I could disappear into the fake ficus behind me. See, in our neighborhood, Riverside Gardens, Patricia isn't just anybody. She's the HOA president, the self-declared queen of lawns and mailboxes. The reason my neighbor had to repaint his shutters 4 times to get the right shade of colonial blue, and why I got fined because my mailbox was 2 inches too tall. Her husband Richard works 60-hour weeks, probably just to avoid her, and the rest of us do our best to keep out of her crosshairs. She's got a talent for making life miserable while pretending she's just keeping up community standards, all wrapped up in a pastel sweater. Now, Bright Smiles Dental is this little place in a strip mall just outside the neighborhood, between a dry cleaner and a frozen yogurt shop. Dr. Peton's a good man, patient, has nerves of steel, but even he isn't prepared for Hurricane Patricia. She's infamous around town. The grocery store manager hides when he sees her, the pharmacist keeps her meds ready to go to speed up her visits, and the barista at the coffee shop, who's seen it all, gets actual nervous tics when Patricia's Range Rover pulls in. Ashley just kept her composure, explained. "When you canceled, we gave your slot to someone else. Mr. Davidson here had a dental emergency, so we fit him in." And then Patricia's laser focus turned on me, her eyes narrowing, voice all venom. You stole my appointment." I tried to say something, but the pain in my jaw almost made me black out. "I didn't steal anything," I managed. "I've had an abscess for 3 days. When they called, I just took the opening." Patricia went redder than a fire hydrant, spat. "An abscess? That's not even a real emergency. My teeth need cleaning. Do you know who I am?" Ashley tried to de-escalate. "Ma'am, Dr. Peton can see you in 4 weeks. Next available." You could feel the room hold its breath. Patricia looked like she'd been slapped. 4 weeks? I have the HOA annual gala in 2. I need my teeth cleaned before then. She started hammering away at her phone, muttering, "I'm calling my lawyer. This is discrimination against HOA officials. Prioritizing random residents over community leaders." I couldn't help it, even with my jaw throbbing. "Patricia, being HOA president doesn't mean you get special medical treatment. I live in Riverside Gardens too. I pay the same fees you do." Her eyes went cold. "I know exactly who you are, Mr. Davidson. You're the one with the unapproved garden gnome." She said it like she was accusing me of grand larceny. I replied, "The gnome was a gift from my late mother. It's been there 3 days while I file the paperwork for a variance." Patricia didn't even blink, just started tapping away. "Well, your variance is denied. And I'll be doing a property inspection tomorrow at 7 a.m. sharp." Ashley finally had enough. "Ma'am, if you're not going to schedule an appointment, please step aside. There are other patients waiting." Patricia turned to the room, announcing for everyone, "This isn't over. I'm filing a complaint with the State Dental Board. And you," pointing right at me, "you just made the biggest mistake of your life." Then she stormed out, heels cracking against the floor like thunder, doors slamming hard enough to shake the potted plants. Ashley let out a breath. "Sorry, Mr. Davidson. Some people just can't take no." I nodded. "I know. I live in her kingdom." 20 minutes later, I was finally getting my abscess looked at, and my phone buzzed nonstop. Dr. Peton, always calm, asked if I needed to check it. I glanced down, 6 texts from neighbors, all some version of emergency meeting tonight. Patricia's on the warpath. What did you do? I showed the screen to Dr. Peton. He just shook his head and muttered, "That woman needs a new hobby." When I left, my phone had blown up, 17 missed calls, 43 texts. Patricia had mobilized her forces. That evening, I walked into the community center, the place packed wall to wall. Patricia was already at the podium, face flushed, voice ringing out. "Thank you for coming on short notice. Certain residents are sabotaging their neighbors' access to essential services." The crowd buzzed, and my neighbor Janet whispered, "What's this about?" Patricia pointed at me. "Mr. Davidson deliberately intercepted my dental appointment, knowing I need to maintain a professional appearance for the HOA." I stood up, jaw still sore, but antibiotics kicking in. "Patricia, I had a medical emergency. I didn't even know you had an appointment." She waved her hand. "Irrelevant. As HOA president, I should have priority access to all services. It's only logical. I represent you all." That's when Frank, an older gentleman, stood up. "Patricia, that's not how it works. You can't demand special treatment just for being on the HOA board." Patricia's eyes went narrow. "Should I mention your grass was a 1/4 inch too long last week, Frank? I let it slide out of kindness, but I could fine you retroactively." The room broke into arguments, but you could sense a shift. People were tired of being pushed around. Then Sarah Jacobson, who'd always been quiet, stood up holding a folder. "Patricia, I've been keeping records. In 6 months, you issued 237 citations, collected $18,000 in fines, called 12 emergency meetings, and violated rules yourself 17 times, including that unapproved pergola and leaving holiday decorations up till February." Patricia's face turned purple. "How dare you spy on me? I'm protecting property values." Sarah opened her folder. "I move to call a vote of no confidence in the HOA president." 3 voices seconded her so fast, it was almost funny. Patricia gripped the podium. "You can't do this. I've dedicated 3 years to this community." But the ballots were already being passed around. In half an hour, it was over. 78 to 12, Patricia was out. She tried to storm out, but Tom Morrison, the treasurer, blocked her path. "Before you go, Patricia, let's talk about the forensic accounting report we commissioned." Her face went white. "What report?" Tom smiled. "The one showing you spent $1,600 at the day spa, $800 at Nordstrom, listed as office supplies, all with HOA funds." Patricia sputtered. "Those were legitimate. I have to look professional." But Tom was already on the phone. Within an hour, the police showed up. Next morning, Patricia was charged with embezzlement. The local news ran with the headline, "HOA President's Reign Ends in Arrest." Her husband Richard filed for divorce that week. "Irreconcilable differences," he said, which is lawyer talk for, "I can't listen to her complain about shrub height for another minute." That one day at the dentist was the pebble that finally started the avalanche. 3 weeks later, I went back for my follow-up. Ashley smiled. "How's the jaw, Mr. Davidson? By the way, did Patricia ever get her appointment?" I laughed. "Don't tell me she's still banned." Ashley grinned. "Oh, she's banned, all right." She came back, tried to superglue our door shut, left 47 one-star reviews under fake names. IT traced them all. Every last one was her. Dr. Peton popped in, shaking his head. "In 30 years, never had a patient try to citizens arrest me for dental malpractice and conspiracy to corrupt democracy." She called 911, said I was part of a secret cabal trying to overthrow the HOA. The dispatcher hung up. They knew her voice by now. Patricia became a local legend, starring in security camera footage as she ranted outside the office, glue in hand, declaring her constitutional right to dental care. Then the DA finished their work. She got charged with embezzlement, fraud, vandalism, and filing false police reports. The judge, who lived in an HOA herself, showed zero sympathy. Patricia got 18 months in minimum security and had to pay $42,000 back to the community. I'll never forget her face when the sentence dropped, complete disbelief. But I was just trying to keep the neighborhood nice. Yeah, Patricia, you sure kept us on our toes. And now, for once, we can all breathe a little easier when we walk to our mailboxes or put up our Christmas lights. Though you gotta wonder, How much power should one person really have over an entire community? Or maybe the real lesson is, when the bullies finally fall, it's never because of some heroic showdown, but because enough ordinary people finally say, enough. So what do you think? Was justice served, or did it go too far? Drop your thoughts below. Where's the line between enforcing order and abusing power? Would you have done anything differently if you lived in Riverside Gardens? I'd love to hear your take, because sometimes the quietest voices in the room have the most to say.